We'll be talking about relationships, and it would most likely be like be an interactive session. Basically, I we would just like to talk about concerns or fears that people might have in relationships, concerns or fears that they might have about relationships. So if you have any concern or you have any fear about relationship, this would be the right time to ask your questions. So for me, I went to the University of Abuja, and while I was in school, I was not in a relationship in school. However, I had people that asked me out when I was in school. Most times when they asked me out, I'll just start laughing. I don't know why why I used to reply with laugh. I don't know. But I just know that whenever they ask me out, I'll just start laughing. I'll just be laughing. And then, but one thing was that I noted the people that asked me out, and I was like, okay, when I'm ready. So when I finished university, I chose one of them to be the first person that I dated. It did not work out. Finally, we dated for like 1 year, 6 months. It did not work out, but he actually proposed to me while I was in law school, and I said yes. But after I said yes, I was very scared. I don't know, I was just scared, and so many things were going through my mind. And I just prayed. I said, God, please, if this man is not the person for me, let him be the one to break up with me, because I cannot break up. He did not do anything wrong to me. It's just that I don't know. So if he's not the one, let him break up. And as God will have it, he came to visit me one day in law school, and he took me out. We went, and while we were eating, he wanted us to share cutleries. And I was like, I don't think I want to share cutleries. And so he was like, take. And I was like, I don't think so. And after the back and forth, he just ate his food. I ate mine. We just chatted briefly. And that night he called me and he said, I've been trying to get close to you, and it seems like you are not responding the way I want you to respond. So because of that, I would like us to break up. And so I can say that I broke up because of cutleries. And that was the breakup that I had. And then my husband came. We dated. He asked me to marry him. I said yes. Was I scared? Yes. We did our traditional marriage in August. We did our white wedding in October. If we had not done that traditional marriage in August, I would have most likely broken up before October. But the reason why I stayed till the white wedding was because I'd already done traditional. And 9 years later, I'm happy I did not break up. So today we want to talk about fears or concerns that you might have.
I think having fears is actually valid. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong in being afraid. We're all humans. Like I earlier on mentioned, for me, like, even after having 5 sisters, talking to ladies was like a big deal. For me to have even asked her out was a huge challenge. I was just thinking that we'll just use friendship and just marry without me necessarily having to say some of those things that, we necessarily would ought to like share and all that. So that fear is okay. But for me, basically, what I would also add is, it's also very good to listen to your instincts. There are people that we know who have gotten married. They had no business getting married. Before they got married, they already knew that they shouldn't have gotten married. But because of maybe what people would think, what people would say, there used to be a lady on the day of her wedding. She's a lawyer as well. She's in Canada now, a close friend of ours. She got married. On the day she was to get married, her husband-to-be, his girlfriend, came around, told her that she's dating the guy, that why does she want to get married to him? I think they even had a child or something like that. So she was supposed to break up. Everybody was already in church. People were already wearing their clothes. She had done her makeup, everything. She told the guy that she wasn't doing anymore. Her family members were like, don't worry, go ahead, everything will be all right. We can deal with this after the marriage. They got married, and it didn't necessarily take so much time. They still had to divorce at the end of the day. So sometimes listening to that inner voice, you might want to talk to a lady that maybe you have no business talking to. You want to talk to a guy, or you are setting yourself up in a stage where a guy can reach out to you. That guy has no business in your space in the first place. So it's good to be prayerful about these things. For me, basically, I wouldn't say, like when I met her, and she was like, okay, have you prayed? Go and pray about it. I was like, I'm not going to pray. I'm not praying. My mother has been praying for how many years? I'm not going to pray. And actually, I don't think I took out time really to go and say, oh God, is she the one? Is she the one? No, I didn't do that. I was just sure. How did I even meet her? I saw her on the stage in church. I just saw her eyes. That was all. Yeah. So after looking into her eyes, I usher in my church. So I'm sorry, it's not like we look at people ushering and all that, but I usher in my church, and I saw her. She was singing on stage. I just saw her eyes, and I was like, I said, that's my wife. That's all. There was nothing, there was no other spiritual thing around it. So it was that simple for me, basically, so it's good to be afraid. She was the one nursing some of the fears. For me, I didn't really have any fears. I was just like, even though on my wedding day, to say I do was very difficult. Like when they asked me, do you take this, do this, do this, do that? It was at that point that I was now thinking about what is marriage. I've never, some men can be that, we can be that just laissez-faire. I'm that kind of a person. I'm very, there's nothing too deep. I'm not deep at all. There's nothing, she's the one that is deep. I'm not deep. There's nothing deep about me. I just take things as they are, face value, and I move on with my life and all that. So it got to that point, I stood there in church, and I was thinking, do I really want to marry this person? After the pastor had the mic, we already done traditional wedding, we're already married. So there should have been no reason for me to now even be thinking about it. But for me, that was just how it was, because most things in my life have been very spontaneous. Everybody is not spontaneous. She's very detailed. She's a very consistent person. She has a plan. She sticks to that plan. Me, I can wake up on Monday morning. That's when I have a plan. I don't have to wait till Friday to now think, is this a good plan? That Monday, as I'm thinking of that plan, I'm like, okay, can we start doing something? And it works for me sometimes. It doesn't work sometimes, but in terms of fear, what are the reasons? What are the fear factors? It will also be good to hear from you guys. Like, our generation is like, I'm like at least 10 years older than everybody here somehow. I don't know. But the reality is that I would also like to hear what you guys think. What's the whole dating thing? I know in the university, I dated while in school. I dated during my master's. After my master's, I think I still dated. Then I got married, stuff like that, yeah. So what fears are out there, really? What fears are out there for people? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good afternoon once again. So one of my major fears in relationship and marriage is over familiarity. Like, I'm wondering, you've been married for 9 years. Have there never been a day where you're like, oh, I'm tired of this person and I just want to be alone? Like, you're seeing one person, you wake up in the morning, you're seeing this person, you come back from work, you're still seeing this person. If this person irritates you, if this person makes you angry, you still have to come back and sleep on the same bed with this person. How do people cope? Like, because there's this saying of when you get too used to someone, then you just get out of the person and you just want to live your life and be far away from this person. So how have you guys been coping? How have you been together? Because of right now, I'm scared of like, how will I get married to one person and then be with that person for like 30, 40 years? Like, thank you.
As much as you can. Sorry, can we take all the questions first before? Okay. Okay, there's another mic here.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So I would answer and then he would also touch it. For me, over familiarity, I don't know, but I like my space. I like to have my space. But even with that, I also want to have somebody that I can count on, somebody that I can rely on, somebody that can help me, somebody that I can share my dreams with. And so for me, that is on a higher priority than that familiarity thing. So, of course, being familiar with somebody like my husband now, I've seen him. There's nothing I've not, by God's grace, so I don't know, but I've seen a lot. I've seen, let me not be graphic, but I've seen my husband. So, am I familiar? Yes, but I also enjoy the fact that there's somebody that knows me. I enjoy the fact that I can hold his hand, we can walk around, and I'm not shy. But he's usually shy. I don't know why he's usually shy, but for me, when I'm coming out of church or somewhere, I just hold his hand. And sometimes I notice that he's trying to, so I'm like, did you keep on that person somewhere else? Allow me to hold your hand. So for me, I like it. And I used to say that I'm happy that I'm married, because even if I need my space, there are times when I'll tell him that, please, I need my space. And he would actually just carry my children and they will go somewhere, and I can be at home alone for as long as I want, and then they will come back. So I think it's for you to understand your partner. For him, he gets his emotions externally. When he meets with people, he gets his whole hype and all. For me, my maximum, my strength comes in a place of quiet. So when I need it, I just tell him that I need to be alone, and then he gives me that space. So if you maybe need space sometimes, and you marry someone that understands you, when you need the space, the person will give you the space. And then if you are someone that likes variety, then you marry a girl that you have noticed that she just used to change. Somebody that maybe today she has made this hair, tomorrow she has started this, next tomorrow she's like this. Some people are like that. They are just their body. They move. They move like that. So if you see someone that is like that, you might say, okay, you can mark some as you're in school now. You can mark one or two that this kind of person, or maybe then it might help.
Well, the reality is that, of course, we do marriage according to God's principles. My wife is beautiful, right? Does it mean that there are no other beautiful ladies around?
No.
No. No. The truth is, wonderful people are everywhere. But when you make that decision to be with one person, you have to stick with that decision. Like she said, my energy is external. I don't know how to stay alone. I don't know how to be by myself. I just like to be out there with people. And one of the things that she did when we got married was she marked all the ladies that I used to be close to while I was still single. And her own strategy was to cut them off around me like this. So tactically she did that. I quarreled with all of them. No, it's true now. They are nowhere to be found around me right now. So that it's true now. It's not So right now I'm just, when I even look at my phone at times, if I'm not making business calls, I'm calling my wife. My wife is calling me. I'm calling my wife. My wife is calling me. So I will be like, okay, how many people do I even call in a week now, externally? I don't think, maybe if my parents, my siblings, then my wife. I don't really have too many friends per se. So that whole...
No. Sorry. It's not that you should not have friends, though. I did not say you should not have friends. And he has some people he talks to, just to clear the air.
When since you don't have friends, you have to listen.
I did not say he should not have friends. Please have friends. But must the friends be other women?
So,
And I did not say you should not have. No, it's not.
no. No, but the reality is that you just have to be comfortable with that person. Because what's really the point? There's somebody I know who is married. He's been married for a very long period of time, and he's been consistently cheating on his wife. And it's a private story, but it will help somebody here. And the wife had the privilege of catching him red-handed. I don't know if that's a privilege, but she had the privilege of catching him red-handed. If he was sold out to her, he wouldn't necessarily want to find himself in that position. So having your space sometimes, space can be very dangerous, for a lot of men, especially if you're that kind of a guy that your mind is always wandering. You don't want to give yourself too much space, because when you would do the replacement, you would not even know it. You swap in and you swap out and all that. You don't want to live that life, because it has its own downsides as well. So if you really need space, you can ask for it. We just still move on. We are happy. There was something that my dad said. He's about 76 years old, and my parents, both of them are both retired, and they now live together. So something happened. It's like my mom they live alone, but together, right? They live alone.
They've been living together.
Yeah, they've been living together, but they now live alone. Yeah, so whenever my mom is looking for something, she just believes that it's my dad that has misplaced that thing, or he's the one that kept it somewhere, he has forgotten where he kept it. Old people's things and all that. So one day my dad was like, he could not hold this anymore. He said, there's nobody you can blame now. I'm the only scapegoat around that. So for him to have used that word scapegoat, that means my mom must have also pushed him to a point and all that. So if you want to leave that kind of a home, or you want to be in that relationship for the long term, you just have to embrace that reality. Don't run from it, because running from that reality might mean actually that you are running into another reality. And if you don't want that for yourself, then you just, yeah.
Just to still touch on the point that he said that was not totally accurate.
What's that?
No. Why I want to touch on it is because before he got married to me, right, he had a lot of female friends.
Wow.
Right?
What related female friends?
And as he said, he saw me in church, he saw me singing, right? And he thought, oh, I like her eyes, I want to get married to her. And then we started talking, and he asked me out. I said yes. Because I said yes, I wanted to marry him, did not mean that when something exciting happens, he wouldn't want to call the female friends that he has had for years. And so for me, I was like, okay, yes, you already have long-standing female friends, but if I would come and be married to you and I'll be with you, let us build our own friendship. Not that something happens and then you want to call your female friends. No, let me be the person you want to call first. Let me be the person that you want to take out. Let me be the person that you want. Did I do something that is bad?
No.
And so I necessarily did not say, okay, cut. No, I said, let me be your first call.
Yeah.
And when I became the first call, I became more or less like the only call.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that he does not still have friends once in a while. Don't you talk to him?
I talk to people. I actually have friends, but I think that my wife has just become like that only person that it's just she's just easy to talk to. Like, I can't remember when there is something I needed to share and I'll be talking to somebody else. I just talk to my wife and I'm okay with that, totally fine with that. But even if she had to cut me out of that whole circle, I don't think it was a bad thing. I think it was actually in my interest at the end of the day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, sir. Okay, so in a society where everybody has their opinion on what relationship should look like, on what marriage should look like, how are we able to handle the noise that everybody is making? Because it seems like this person is saying this person is saying that. How can we handle it?
Well, noise about relationship and how relationship or marriage should
Ought to be, yes.
ought to be. First of all, I'm a Christian, so I read the Bible and I listen to people that have a track record in their marriage. And also, even everything is a pointer to something and it teaches something, whether good or bad. There are still some people's relationships or marriages that fail that you can still learn something from. So, of course, you look at different things, but you have to be able to sieve and decide what will work for you and what would not work for you. For example, the example that we gave now, some people might not mind, because I know some other friends that he has that they too, they had more of female friends than male friends. And when they got married, their wives were okay with it. Like their female friends will come to the house like almost every day. They will come to the house almost every Sunday. The wife will cook for the female friends. They will eat. And they've been doing that for years. And the wife is fine with it. You get. But for me, I knew myself and I knew that even though maybe later, but not that I'm just getting married and then women are coming to my house and I'll now be cooking for another girl to not be gisting my husband. Me, I was not comfortable with it. So I think the first thing is to know yourself and know what you can take and what you cannot take. Also, you should be able to explain to your spouse clearly your own priorities. Like I used to share when I was first getting married to him. I remember I was talking to him about music, about how important it was to me and everything. And he made a kind of comment that I didn't like. Because to me, that comment did not strengthen my resolve that this is what I like. And so I told him, I said, see, when it comes to music or things that are important to me, you don't joke with it. Because for me, it's important that I'm not married to somebody that when I'm telling the person what is important to me, the person is joking about it. And that's the reason why we have some women. So I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. He will speak from a man's point of view. That's the reason why we have some women that are married now and they have not been able to start what they really want to do in life because their husbands don't take them seriously. They can be telling them, oh, I want to do salon business for the next 10 years. He will never support them. He will not even encourage them. Even if they say, oh, I want to work as a diplomat. Okay. Somebody that is even supporting you will say, why not do these courses? Why not do this thing? But because he doesn't take what you say seriously, he will just laugh about it and continue what he's doing. And he will continue spending the money that's supposed to be used for that thing for something else because he doesn't take what you are saying seriously. So for me, when I was getting married, I told him, when there's something that you know that is important to me, and I tell you, okay, these are the things I want to achieve. I don't want to be married to someone that will now just joke about it, laugh about it, and I will just be there. And he understood. And I can say that I'm where I am today, and I've achieved what I've achieved today because I'm married to him, and he has supported me. If he did not support me, I will not be where I am today. And he supported me because we had that understanding. So, thank you.
So the other thing, just to add to what she said, the greatest investment that any man can actually make is in his wife. As a man here, don't ever forget that. And I say that because when we started out, like, I was like doing almost like everything. Later on, my wife started supporting. Then, as we are right now, like, she is really supporting. So imagine if I was really the man that would be like, this woman, you have to suppress her, don't allow her grow, let her not become somebody that walks into her own fullness. If I was doing that as a man, I wouldn't be reaping the benefits of being married to her right now. So I would just admonish that life is going to take us in different directions. One of the red flags that you should really watch out for is this person only comfortable taking you out, buying snacks, eating out, shawarma, shawarma, shawarma. You know, like, it's a whole lot more than that. One of the tests that you should run on anybody that you want to take serious is for you to share your goals with that person and see how they respond. When you share your goals, don't be in a hurry to start laughing or to be too excited. Wait for the feedback. It's very important. A man that doesn't sit down now to think of how he can add value to your life, he's not going to start in 10 years' time. You don't want to now be on NSPPD, you are praying for your husband, you are on a different prayer platform. Oh Lord, my God, oh Lord, El Roy. And no, you don't want to do that for a man because you would see the signs and those signs would show early. But if you are so concerned about, okay, he bought you a human hair. Human hair can catch fire, right? It can burn. If you light it up, it will light up, right? Clothes would light up, isn't it? But don't go to a guy talking about things that are transient, things that are mundane, things that are... Bring your goals to the table. And the fact that you are even bringing your goals to the table, a man that cannot keep up with your own pace when you are sharing your goals, he will find his level. There's something one of my mentors used to say, Reverend Sam, he talks about the levels of leadership. He talks about you find a marriage where a man is a level 7 leader. He gets married, or he's a level 3 leader. He gets married to a woman who is a level 8 leader. Guess what's going to happen? Can somebody guess? If you marry a man at level 3 and you're a level 8 woman, you want to share? Do you have an idea what happens most times? Yeah? You can go ahead. You want to tell me what happens in that kind of mixture?
Yeah, like 2 things that will happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There are like 2 things that will happen, yeah? Coming from the man's side. Is either the guy will start having this inferiority complex. You know, if he's not a really confident and strong man, he'll start feeling a little bit, oh, okay, I can't even do this. You can't even do that for like your wife. You get what I'm trying to say now, yeah? But from the female's perspective, disrespect to certain, you know what I'm talking about, is that, this man self, like, can you imagine, school fees self, is me that is doing it. Who is he? Disrespect to certain. So at the end of the day, as a man, that's why you're talking about this marriage balance, is that you need to come into your own almost, and that's why a lot of men self don't really rush into this marriage thing, because you need to hold your side before you start saying, okay, I want to bring another person into this situation. You get?
Okay, I like your perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at a scenario of a healthy relationship. But let me just share. Okay, you want to tell me what's going to happen? Okay. What happens when a lady is dating a lady who is on level 8, dating a guy who is on level 3? Leadership level now.
Someone is holding the mic.
Who's that? Okay, go ahead.
So I feel like you're at level 8, right? You come back to 0. Because if you have a man that feels like you are higher than him, and then he's not supporting you, and he's not, giving you the backup you need, you will go down, you won't grow.
There's a lady I know currently that, I knew when she got married, like, she was all that. Like, she was attractive, she was beautiful, she was a lot of things. Then she gets married to this guy. She was a whole lot better than this guy. We're even asking her, is it desperation? What's the issue? What's the problem? Are you pregnant? Those kind of questions. But she's like, no, this, that. The guy was even already beating her before they got married, but she didn't let us know. She gets married to the guy. He was the reason why she lost her job, one. He got her pregnant, the baby issue. He just put her in a dirty place. In a place that you would see her and you'd be like, this is not where this girl is supposed to be. So, ladies, you are so powerful. Ladies are so powerful. Like I told you guys that whatever I am today, like, I can credit it to my wife to a great, and I'm not less of a man to say that. There are areas where I support her, But my wife is very determined. She's very clear. She loves clarity. Me, I don't really like doing a lot of clarity. Clarity confuses me most times as a person. I like to just do the whole spontaneous thing. Okay, something happens, we do this. But she's like, no. We can't keep doing that. We've done that for many years, and look at where we are. Let's try something new. So it's important that you do the best that you can as a woman to improve yourself. And likewise, it is also for men. You are a level 8 man. You marry a woman that is level 3. You marry a lady that has not worked on herself, that has not improved herself, that doesn't have any goals, no visions, no aspiration, that just loves to watch movies, that is not thinking of achieving anything in life. She would also bring you to her level. For women, they can easily bring you to their level and leave you there. But for a man, he cannot even bring you to his level. He will make sure he brings you under his level. So it's very important in making those life choices and those life decisions. We have to, as much as we are praying, there was a guy who once told my sister that God told him that she's going to marry him. And I looked at this guy. That was many years ago. I was like, this guy is joking. God did not tell him anything. You understand? Things like that. So don't be moved by spiritual language. I saw you in a dream. Does that really work anymore? I don't think so. Like I woke up. No. I don't think those things work anymore. You have to open your eyes. You have to ask those very important questions. And you are definitely not too young to start thinking about these things. You are not too young, yeah.
Okay, if I would just add, like, when I met him and I told him, these are the things that I would like to achieve. When I tell other men, they'll be like, oh, wow, this is... But one of the reasons why I was very impressed with him, aside from the fact that when I saw him, I liked him. I liked the way he looked. I liked the way he talked. I liked the way he laughed. But it was also that when I shared what I wanted, that I thought was a life assignment, he told me, you can do this in 3 years. And to me, I was thinking, wow. So I'll tell a guy that I want to achieve this type of thing, and he'll tell me, this is something that can be achieved in 3 years. So I would say, of course, share something with the person that you think you want to be with and see how the person responds to what you say. And that would help. Also, marrying someone that you like physically too is very important because it's the person you will see every day. It's the person that you would, I don't know. Like I was listening to something and the guy is very fine and everything, but the guy has a light voice and the girls busted all their balloons and the reason was that he has a light voice. But I've seen other men recently that have light voices, but their women like them and they even have money. And the women don't care about the lightness of their voices. So not everybody will have a deep voice, but you know what you like. For me, I've never... Okay. Like...
deep voice. My voice is just normal.
No, it's not like that. Like, when I was in school, I had the opportunity to date like my mates, right? But for me, which is not for everybody, for me, I knew that I've always had a big body. And I didn't want to marry somebody that I would now be looking bigger than, because I just felt if I marry my mate, before you know, by the time I start giving birth, it will now be like I senior him because of I have a big body, which is not for everybody. I'm just saying my own preference ahead. So I always knew. And so when my mates will ask me out, that's part of why I might laugh or maybe... But I said, see, I cannot go out with my mates just because of the kind of body I have. I don't want to be with somebody that I feel like And so when I saw my husband, I saw his height, I saw that he was big. I said, yes, this is this type of body that I want, so that I don't look bigger than the person. So it's different for different people.
So I think we've done so well already on the relationship aspect, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for turning out today. The very last thing I'm going to say in the next 3 to 5 minutes is, I don't know how many of us here are on LinkedIn. That's like about 5% of us. How many of us here are not on LinkedIn? Please, if you're not on LinkedIn, just be proud. To me personally, and to lots of people that I know, LinkedIn is one of the greatest apps that you can be on. But it's not enough to be on LinkedIn. The question you would now ask yourself is, what are you doing on LinkedIn? All the hires that I've done, people that I've recruited and all that, even for companies that I recruit for, I always want to find out, I don't even look at CV. I don't care if you go to Bingham University, if you go to CONFRENCE University, if you're a Harvard graduate, if you went to ECPOMA, blah, blah, blah. I want to see what's your footprint, what's your career footprint, what are the things that you are doing online in the whole career development angle. What are you known for on LinkedIn, for example? Are you just there reposting what other people post? Are you bold enough to go out there and make a statement about yourself, about what you love, about what you do? There's a lady that we both know. I think she's in Global Shapers. You know, has she graduated school yet? That lady that she's in Washington today, she's in this tomorrow and all that. Is she still in school? She has left school. But before that lady left school, she had made a mark on LinkedIn. I know because we run like a mentorship program, the JIIPCC mentorship and internship program for young people. And I can tell you that those persons that have an active LinkedIn profile, they are more gravitated towards wanting to create that persona for themselves on LinkedIn. It's just what it is now. Recruiters will go to your profile. They will check you out. What are you doing? You've not posted anything about your career development. You are not talking about anything important. You know, I would also look at Instagram too. I want to see what you are doing on Instagram. I don't use CV to make any judgment. I use social media almost 100%. to make judgments about where people are, and I can almost forecast where they would want to go. So I'm just encouraging you in another 5-10 seconds that take LinkedIn, very important, do the best that you can, create the image that you want people to have of you on the LinkedIn platform. It's a free platform, and I'm sure that you will do very well with it.
Okay, just to add to what he said about having a presence online. People search for people online, and people get several offers online. And even in my space, I know of people right from university that have gotten like international offers just from being active online and having something that they are known for. Mike Murdoch came to my church in 2017 and he said, be known for one thing, just one, and the world will come to you. Most times people pay because of your difference and your ability to communicate that thing that you are good at. So sometimes what I would advise, although I would say that people have different strategies. For example, there's someone I know, I will not mention her name. She's necessarily not online, but I know that she makes so much money. She can travel to wherever she wants to travel to. She can buy whatever she wants. She has what she needs. And her strategy is not being online. Her strategy is being the number one academically wherever she is. So when she's in, let's say, secondary school, when they are giving A, this one, A, they call her. In the university, best in this, best in this, best in this. In law school, best in this, best in this, best in this. So as she's hitting that mark, the offers are coming to her. So that's her strategy. For some other people, there's another person I know, even as at last year, he was speaking in international organizations and he was still a student. His strategy was visibility online. He picked a particular area. He would talk about that area intelligently online. He would tag the key people in that industry. So for example, let's say the industry he wants to pick now is, someone should give me an industry. AI. He would pick that AI industry. He would write maybe twice a week or once a week about AI. He would tag the key people in the AI industry in Nigeria, the key people in Nigeria, the key people in Africa, the key people at the United Nations level. He would tag them. He continued doing this thing, continued. Before you know, as a university student, he was already doing projects with people in the development space, coming on platforms, panel sessions with diplomats, etc. And it was just because he was visible. For me, what has worked for me has not been academic excellence. What has worked for me is visibility. So it's for you to know your strengths and know what will work for you. You ask yourself, what will give me an edge into the industry I want to go into? Is it visibility or is it the academic excellence? Some people, it might not even be these two. For some people, it might just be that I'm connected. My parents are connected. That can be your own. And, well, it's not your fault if you are connected. It's a gift too. Because you didn't put yourself in the family, God put you in the family. So if his own gift is intelligence and it gets him into rooms, my gift is visibility, gets me into rooms. And your gift is that you are from a very rich and connected home. It's not your fault. So, but you have to know that, okay, for me, my own edge is that my father is connected. So once I finish school, my father is calling the governor, he's calling the president, and I'm getting a position. So you that you don't have a father that is connected, you cannot now be joking like the person that has a father that is connected. Because the person that has a father that is connected, when people finish school, the person is not starting from ground zero. The person is resuming. You might even be surprised that the person is already doing internship in different international organizations already during their holiday. So you people are not on the same level. For some people, their own key in life is their beauty or the way they look. For example, when you look at some of the banks or some other organizations, they look at the look of a person. And once that look can just have a little brain attached to it, it's okay. So for everybody, you just need to know what your own selling point is and you use it wisely. So with that, I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining. I think Usha will give the closing remark. But before we go, we are online. I'm Juliana Imam online. He's Joseph Obo online, just in case you would want to follow us. Thank you for coming.
God bless you.